Matt Gibbs is here, and he will treat you right, and I can tell you that from personal experience because he treats me right. He is fair with me when I bring my car to be repaired, which I hate when my car needs to be repaired. It's a fact of life, Matt. We like to see you, but we hate the reason we're coming to see you. Yeah. Would you like me to come over one day just because I have like a sandwich to share with you, maybe?
As long as it doesn't have no mayonnaise on it.
You don't like mayonnaise?
No.
You're a mayonnaise anti-guy?
Yeah, no.
Really? You and Jimmy, what's the guy's name from the Tonight Show? Jimmy, what's his name? Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon.
What about him?
He doesn't like mayonnaise.
He doesn't like mayonnaise?
No,
either?
he makes a big deal out of it.
Man. It's nasty.
Hey, there was a story in the news about a garage that was broken into. I had to scan through, make sure it wasn't you, and it was not you.
No, it wasn't.
I think they messed with a Volkswagen Bug or something in the story. Did you see the story?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, you put all that money into your business, and people entrust you with their vehicles, and then somebody comes in and messes them up.
Yeah, that's what you have insurance for.
Holy cow. You just can't handle it. Why do people do that? Why did they turn over cars after the Super Bowl in Philadelphia?
I don't know.
What is the thought there?
It makes no sense to me.
These are the kind of questions I have for you. Why why do people mess stuff up on purpose?
I have no idea. I just can't go there. I can't think that way.
I guess I can understand if you're mad, but what if you're celebrating?
Good thing Philadelphia won, huh?
Yeah. yeah, right. Maybe it would be a lot more cars overturned. All right, the phone lines are open if you want to call Matt about your car. Maybe it's making a noise or something, and you want to imitate that noise with your mouth. You're welcome to do that. See if Matt can guess what it is. It's going.
Sound like a serpentine belt. You seen that commercial?
No, I didn't see the commercial.
Yeah, I saw some lady came in and she did that.
When you do what do you call it? Not an oil change, but a vehicle. When you service a vehicle,
okay,
does that include the air in the tires and the fluids? All the fluids?
Yeah, we check all the fluids and top them off, and windshield washer fluid and brake fluid and power steering fluid.
Oh, you know what? I need to see you about my windshield wipers.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I need new ones.
Well, probably a good indicator is when it's raining and it doesn't clean the windshield.
Yeah, well, the back one definitely, which I hardly use the back one.
Yeah, the back one's always, because they always like sit on the glass, so the glass gets real hot, and it kind of just
they just disintegrate.
kills that back windshield wiper.
I don't know why we even need it, but I guess it's come in handy a few times.
I have one on the back of my car, and every once in a while, I'll give it that one quick little wipe so I can.
I guess if it's covered with snow, then it would help, but usually it's just water around here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But have you ever seen the back one that looks like Garfield's tail? I like that one. That's a good
the one that hangs down?
Where they decorate the back windshield wiper?
Yeah.
or
they have a leg sticking out of the trunk. Yeah, I've seen that one.
That, yeah. All right, so additives to things. Are you in favor of the over-the-counter additives people put into their gas tank, into their oil? I don't even know where else you might put them.
Oh, you can put additives all over. Matter of fact, dude, I had a dealer. He's a dealer here in town. He's since retired now, and they went online and bought a whole case of these. And I think we've talked about it on the show before. It was these magnets that you put in.
Yes.
You put on the fuel line, and it makes all the fuel molecules line up, so you get better gas mileage.
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen people bring me the craziest things to put on their car, thinking that they're going to get 10 miles to the gallon better gas mileage. It's just insane. Those are just little add-on things. And then the additives, there are some really good additives out there, but then there's snake water too, you know what I'm saying? So
did you ever have any faith in the Marvel mystery oil?
Oh, I love Marvel.
You do? Now what does that actually do?
Well, it's just an oil. It's an oil like
but it heats up, right?
No, it gets hot when you put it in something hot. It'll heat up. But it's to me, Marvel Mystery Oil was a cleaner. Like back in the 80s,
right,
when diesels I worked for Oldsmobile,
Right.
and we had these incredibly junky Oldsmobile diesel engines. And but what would happen was algae would grow into fuel. I mean, algae.
Algae grows in diesel fuel?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not real a big issue on like the semis and the guys with trucks and stuff. And
Because it's always flowing.
right, because they use so much of it, it doesn't
Okay.
have. But people that back in the day, you know, and Oldsmobile was kind of like the older generation car at the time, and maybe they didn't put as many miles on cars as you know they. And well, they'd bring their car in and it would run like junk, and it was because the
really?
gas tank was
And-
full
and-
of this green algae.
And does that kind of say that diesel fuel is more ecologically, I don't know, is it safer for the environment? I mean, if algae can grow in it, algae can't grow in gasoline.
No, it can't grow in gasoline. But we got to understand that diesel fuel is a byproduct of gasoline. So, you know, it's kind of like
Weird.
You know, it's kind of like the leftovers of.
So is that still true? I mean, if you left a diesel engine sitting,
I haven't seen algae in diesels in a long time, and I think that's because they've added things to the diesel fuel
Oh, to
today.
get rid of
Like
it.
now they're so low fuel,
Algae side?
sulfur, and yeah, they. But back in the day, we used to use Marvel Mistral oil and add it with their diesel fuel, and it helped clean the tank and kill the algae and flush out the injectors and lubricate things.
So additives to like the coolant, does that help at all?
The coolant, you don't really need to add an additive to coolant because the lubricants and everything just service your cooling system. You know, just
I
have
know.
it flushed,
Yeah.
put new fluid in it, and when you put the new fluid in it, it comes with the lubricant and you know and the anti-freezing
Right.
element and all that kind of stuff. But and transmissions, you got to be real careful about transmissions, especially on some of the Hondas and Nissans and CVT type transmissions. That, you know, a lot of the Nissans, they don't, their transmission doesn't shift gears. It's just kind of like like I try to explain it like this. It's like I have a riding lawnmower, and the more I put on the gas, the faster it goes. But it just kind of, it's got a hydrostatic type transmission. It just kind of goes and keeps going, and that's what a CVT transmission does. But you got to be real critical. That's real critical on the fluid on a lot of the newer transmissions. So I try not to add anything to them because, like, if you have a Honda and you bring it to us and we service your Honda we get Honda transmission fluid. If you get a Nissan, we get Nissan
that would make
transmission
sense. Yeah,
fluid.
yeah.
But there is some stuff like Schaefer's. You know, I sit on here and
Yeah, and you've talked about Schaefer's before, and I'll never forget that guy who called up to challenge you. Remember that guy?
yeah,
He was making it seem like you were just
like snake. It was snake
trying to
oil.
sell oil, but
Yeah.
you don't sell oil. What was the thing with the STP that really it was clear but really thick gooky stuff that people used to put?
Yeah.
I used to do this.
The STP oil treatment.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what STP does as far as an oil treatment today. And I don't even, and to be honest with you, that was kind of like back in the,
It was like a fad, wasn't it?
it was back in the 60s and 70s.
But did it ruin our engines or something?
I don't think it ruined it. I don't know what it actually did for it. You know, I'm a lot, now that I'm older and I've kind of matured and I do investigate, I do a lot of investigative work, you know, and if someone comes and tells me something, I don't just sit there and I don't listen to what they have to say.
But see, we're so influenced by big time commercials. Like if you see STP commercials, and I remember as a kid seeing them, and of course my dad would buy the STP. Everybody I knew had a sticker
Right.
on their school book or something, because STP would give away those stickers like crazy. And that was cool to have a sticker.
And that's, you know, that was marketing, you know, to be honest with you. And they still have that same type of marketing today.
But we don't know what it does.
But we know what they say it does. You know, this is what they're marketing.
Right.
But what does it really do? You know, it's kind of like that one show that, what is it, Mythbusters or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
all
yeah.
these people say. My wife a couple weeks ago bought this. It was a cordless The best way to describe this thing was like a giant toothbrush, like a toothbrush for a dinosaur.
Right.
But it was for tile to go in your bathroom. You
Okay,
spray and,
okay.
and great.
Did it work?
No.
No.
It was a great concept.
Wow.
You
would think it would work.
You would think it would. But the motor in it, the thing that actually drove the round brush that you go in there and do your
yeah.
If you put just a half a pound of pressure on it, it would make the motor stop spinning.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you couldn't do anything with it. You could let it spin on your wheel on the wall.
Oh no.
But the concept was there, and there's probably that particular device that has a good motor in it and would do the job, just not the one seen on TV.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought, man, this is great. Spray the bathroom, go in there, brush it down, hose it off, and you're good to go.
Do you remember we were talking about the weight of the Formula One drivers? They had to weigh themselves before they. Somebody else wrote in after that, and they were telling me about the aerodynamics of the car itself. That the slightest little drag could be a big problem as far as winning is concerned. Tell me about that. That doesn't really affect us as normal drivers, right?
No,
I mean, we don't care, right?
No.
Does it affect our mileage? Our gasoline mileage?
No? I did a little research because someone asked me about how many miles per gallon does this car get. You know what I'm saying? And so I actually went in there and read all those little, you know how you get a piece of paper and and then they've got those little teeny tiny ones that you need a microscope to see.
Right.
Well, I read those little teeny tiny letters.
Yeah.
I read what it talked about for miles per gallon. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just incredible. Okay, ambient temperature needs to be between this and this. Okay.
Wow.
If you're in town, it's without air conditioning or any accessories, windows down. And it goes on and on and on, and said the average fuel economy for this particular year, make, and model is 31 miles to the gallon in city. Now, if you go to the highway side and you read all the little fine print, now we have to have the windows rolled up. We have to have ambient temperature between this and this.
Oh, really?
Relative humidity between this and this, and and the air.
The humidity.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was just literally crazy. So, but if you do, and that's what they call an orange test. If you do an orange test, because back in the day when this all started in 1980 and a half. And in 1982 is when the federal government got involved with fuel economy on cars, and that's when they started changing the computers in the cars. In about 1980 and a half is when they came out with the single board processors in our the American vehicles, and then about 1982 is when they started coming out with the dual processors, but we would have to test things. People would say, this manufacturer is claiming to get this many miles per gallon, but I'm not getting that many miles per gallon. What's wrong with my car? And because we live in Florida, we don't live in normal driving conditions. We live in extreme driving conditions. We're going to use, our mileage is different in Florida than it is in the Midwest or up north or whatever. So we had to learn all this stuff, and this part of this stuff is doing an orange test, and that's kind of like that fine print. Everything's got to be.
So what is the orange test?
An orange test.
You
is
mean
like,
the fruit, the orange?
No, they just call it an orange test.
Oh, okay.
You know how they say the difference between are we comparing apples to oranges, or are we comparing apples to apples or oranges to oranges?
Okay, all right.
So an orange test is, if you're doing fuel economy tests, you go to this gas station, use this pump at this time with basically the same ambient temperature, and then you wait 24 hours and you do the whole process all over again at the same pump, at the same time, at the same temperature, go the same distance, the same route. You know what I'm saying? And that's an orange test.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like Sonny. Sonny keeps up with his mileage every time.
So he knows.
So he knows exactly what his car is getting. But he would have to take this week's, the week before, the week before, the week before, those averages, and then he could
really do like a bigger study.
Right.
Yes. All right, we do have a phone call, and the phone calls are part of the show. So don't be shy. We want to hear from you. The number is 622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hi, Matt. This is Sonny.
Imagine that.
I noticed with the past couple of weeks a constant cooler temperature. The gas mileage actually went up over about a half to 3/4 of a mile a gallon. And the other thing I noticed is the fact that when the vehicles went in for these tests, mileage tests, figure out their gas mileage, put on the sticker.
Yep.
A lot of them inflated the tires, and some of them actually years ago anyway, they overinflated the tires, and they even took out the spare and make sure there was, nothing in the car to weigh it down more.
Yeah.
So that's all I can tell you.
That's interesting. Yeah, it gave you a little bit better gas mileage too.
Well, it depends also if they ran it on the track, which is entirely different than the roads. I mean, some of the road surfaces and then potholes and bumps and everything else does take away from your mileage.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for the programming. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Sonny.
Have a good day, everybody.
Phone lines are open if you want to call. Thank you, Sonny, for calling. The number is 622-9622. Talk about tire tread a little bit. If the tire tread looks good, like in the middle, but not necessarily on the edge. Like on mine, the outer edge looks a little thin, but the middle looks healthy. What does that mean? It needs an alignment? What does that mean?
It's possible that your alignment's off, or it. I'm going to say it like this. When was the last time you rotated your tires?
If you did it, that's the last time. Yeah, I don't ever do that. So I need to. Everybody needs to do that.
I tell people just rotate your tires.
Is it too late?
It's never too late. But here's the deal with tires. Once a tire develops a wear pattern, and let's say you had your alignment was off and you developed a wear pattern. You feathered the outside edge or you feathered the inside edge. Once that tire develops a wear pattern, it will continue to wear in that pattern.
Oh, really? Even if you rotate them?
Even if you rotate them, it'll still continue to wear in that pattern. So I always tell folks, rotate your tires every other oil change. Now, we do oil changes on 4,000-mile increments. So that means every 8,000 miles, you're going to rotate your tires. And that just gives you the best value for the buck for your tires.
See, I'm the perfect guy to do this show with you because I never follow your rules. I have to come by and have you do these things. So I need to tell you, though, right? When I get the oil change, I say, hey, can you rotate the tires?
Hey, check the tires. If they need to be rotated, rotate them.
Okay.
On yours, it's a no-brainer.
How can you do this on your own? You need 2 jacks, don't you?
I got a lift, man.
No. I know you do, but how could I do it on my own? Yeah. I would need to have 2 jacks, right?
Yeah. Or you'd have to have one jack and 4 jack stands.
Oh, a jack stand. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the modern cars, don't they not have jacks in them?
No, they still have jacks.
Oh, they do? Okay. Yeah. But they don't have a spare tire in them.
Some of them don't have spare tires.
So what are you going to do with a jack if you don't have a spare tire?
That's true.
Wow, that's crazy that they don't put spare tires in new cars. That is just crazy to me. I think the donut idea was crazy.
Nah, the donut idea is all right. It's really all right.
Why? I mean,
it'll get you. It's
but then you stuck with the donut. You have to get.
Well, eventually, Larry, you got to go get that tire fixed.
Got to get a new tire. Oh, what was I seeing? I saw this guy. It was in New York. He hit a pothole and it just tore up his tire. I mean, the tire just was gone.
Yeah.
And so he's making a viral video. He was putting plants in all the potholes in New York City because they don't fix the potholes until the summer. Have you ever heard that? I don't know if it's just a New York thing or all northern cities. They just don't even bother in the winter. to fix the potholes. I guess because it's going to snow and there's going to be more potholes.
Is that what makes the potholes?
I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe the salt that they put down, maybe that does it.
Maybe it breaks down the asphalt. I don't know. We need to have one of our northern people call in and tell us why there's potholes in the winter.
But he put the plants in them so people would drive around them and not get the same problem he had.
Oh.
So that's what he said anyway. So I think he did it have a viral video, have plants growing out of potholes in the city. The phone line number here is 622-9622. Before we run out of time, I always wait till the very last minute, and I shouldn't do that. Call Matt if you have a problem with your car, or go visit him. It's really the better suggestion. So let's give you a chance to give out that information. Where are you?
My address is 1800 Northwest 10th Street. That is Highway 27. My phone number is 352-690-1993. And if you're looking for a car, you can call us at Crossroad Auto Sales, which is 690-6695.
Very good. And we do have a call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I lived in central Massachusetts for 45 years, and they fix potholes all the way through the winter.
Well, they do.
I mean, obviously, if we were having a snowstorm or something like that, they wouldn't. But no, matter of fact, in Worcester, Mass, we had a pothole hotline.
Oh, really?
You'd call in and tell them of the pothole, and they guarantee they'd fill it within 24 hours.
Oh, okay. This kid said that they don't do it in New York until the summer. I wonder why. I mean, maybe he's wrong.
Well,
maybe he just wanted to plant some plants.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted to get on the net or something. But anyway, no, they fixed them all the time.
All right, and I thank you for letting us know.
It might have gone from town to town too, because their budget was always getting exhausted. If we had a lot of snow, then they could exhaust their snow budget, and every town might be different. But no, they did it year round.
Okay. Hey, thank you for letting
us know.
And you
busted up shock absorbers will prove that.
Oh, shock absorbers. Yes. Oh, I have a question about that. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, I can feel every bump in the road. So now I need something, right?
Right.
What do I need? Shock absorbers?
Yep. Yeah. Can you feel it in the front or the back?
Just it feels like when I go over a rough area of the road, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel every little thing.
Yeah. We can check those.
No, okay. Is it shock absorbers? Is that what you call them?
No.
What do you call them?
You have struts.
Struts. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But not everybody has struts.
Not everybody has struts, but you have struts.
Okay. Did you want to read that?
I just wanted to let people know that if you want to go to the Denellen Farm Day and see antique tractors and equipment and antique cars, and there's music and crafts and food and petting zoo and stuff for the kids and a family event, and we're going to have 6 tickets. We'll give each person 2 tickets.
All right.
And if they just come by Sunrise Automotive, you don't even have to buy anything. Is all you have to say is hi.
Hi.
Hi. And introduce yourself. We'd love to give these tickets to whoever would like to go.
By the way, I've decided not to say. I have a habit of saying hi. How you doing?
Hi.
I think I'm going to stop saying how you doing. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to say hi.
Because you might not want to know how they're doing.
I am telling you. The other day I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not good. It's like, okay, I wasn't really asking. So then I thought, well, why did I ask then? It's just a habit.
Man, but see, that's such an opportunity to get to
know somebody.
Well, and to help somebody and to minister to somebody. And
have you ever done that?
Yeah,
minister to somebody.
Yeah, we were out. Me and my wife went with some friends to dinner last night, and we were out in the parking lot praying.
Well, that's different, though.
Praying in the parking lot?
I mean, if you say, hi, how you doing, and you say, I need some prayer, yeah, that's okay.
But by asking how you're doing, you might have that opportunity.
Hi, how you doing?
Let me pray for you.
I can't find a girlfriend anywhere.
Oh, God's got somebody set aside for you. Right?
Hey, I think your song is over. You got a short song. Is that it? That's the whole thing. Hey, Matt, thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Where's your button here? Where's your button?
Just push my button.
This is WOCA Ocala.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. The Dow and NASDAQ are now down for the year on Wall Street, with the last 3 days